Now on the Fan Sports Network. Ready, set, let's roll.
Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Get your little fine ass on the step, shimmy up inside.
Hey, welcome back on the Fan Sports Network. And fall camp underway, a couple weeks in now, and we get to talk Utah Tech football. Head coach Paul Peterson hanging out with us here on the drive. And coach, it won't be long before Saturday night under the lights in Bozeman, Montana. How are the guys doing? Give me kind of an update on how camp's going so far.
Been a great camp, ton of energy. Guys are flying around the football. It's in the hard time, where everybody's sore right now, but they're responding well. They're super competitive every practice, and it goes offense way one day, defense way the other. But it's been a fun camp.
I was going to ask you about that. Usually one is ahead of the other, but it's kind of flip-flopping right now a little bit, winning the battles day to day.
Yeah, that's you don't want it to be lopsided every day, and it's not happening. Our guys are coming out competing, and we're seeing some good things both sides of the ball.
Everybody's interested in this dual quarterback situation with Kobe Tracy and Boone Abbott. What can you tell me how they're looking day to day in camp so far?
Yeah, they both look really, really good. I mean, I think we got to plan on having them both play as far as the starter goes. We haven't decided that yet, but it's really close. And, I'm just excited to see how they do. That competition's elevating their game, both of them. So,
is that weird for you being a quarterback? Would you have liked to have been in a dual quarterback situation when you played at BC back in the day?
I kind of was for a minute. They had this guy, Quentin Porter. He started, and I come in the second quarter to try to get a little spark, so they had me play with that too. But it's hard to get the consistency, but I think both of them deserve having a chance to play, and so you want to make sure we give them that. They've earned it.
How's your number 3 quarterback looking? I mean, you got the freshman from Texas, and then you got the local kid, Reggie Graff, who did flash some signs of being a lot more improved, the former Dixie Flyer.
Yeah, Connor, Skyler, and Reggie both got him a ton of reps early. We're starting to take some reps off and focus on Kobe and Boone. But those guys, all three of them, have a bright future, and that competition is making them better too.
When do you start putting one of them at scout team? When does that start? Not till next week, probably?
Yeah, we got a big night scrimmage this Friday, and so after that scrimmage, we'll start doing some scout team that next week. Have 2 weeks to prepare for Montana State. We're doing some stuff with Montana State right now, but yeah, just after camp breaks, last scrimmage coming up Friday.
I know we've talked throughout the offseason, but you got to replace a 1,000-yard rusher in Quali Conley. But you got some new guys that came into fall camp. Give me kind of your breakdown of how the running back position looks so far into camp.
Yeah, we had Nigel Osborne graduate early, so he's here with us in the springtime, and Nigel just keeps getting better and better as he goes. Got stronger over the summertime. We got Ronnie Walker, transfer from Virginia, played a lot of ball and some really good ball. He's been a really good leader for us, too, stepping up. Excited about him. Chris Treat from Cal, he's got a little different dynamic. He's a bowling ball and pretty shifty, so I think we can count on those 3 guys helping us out.
Offensive line, obviously, how important that is. How's the beef look up front?
Good, man. I had a good summer. Ty Hyde and Bio Kanike, have been staples for us the last few years. Ton of games under their belt. Alex Foster has solidified that left tackle spot, and we've got some competition at center and guard right now. But, Striker Rashid didn't play last year. He's done some good things for us. Kanai Eldridge playing some center. He's played a lot of ball for us, too. He's been a good leader for those guys. And so, we feel like we've got some younger guys, too, that have stepped up and will help us. So we got some really good depth, I think, at offensive line. But our starting 5 are going to be really good.
Obviously, some names to replace in the receiving core, but Ricky Johnson looked like he had a heck of a spring, and I'm sure he's having a heck of a fall camp right now. And the cupboard's not bare. I mean, you pretty confident going into the season with the receiver and the depth at that position?
Yeah, I think so. We lose an All-American in Joey, but Ricky stepped up big time. He's super focused. Had a really good summer, and what he did is what a leader does, is brought a lot of those guys together all summer and trained exceptionally well. I'm really proud of them. They look really, really good. Javion Lofton on the outside, Daniel Thomason as well, Michael Moten continues to be steady and does some really good things for us. We got Bo Sparks, a true freshman that's come in, and Bo ran a 10.500, and he shows he's got the speed out there to make a difference. He's done some really good things, so you'll see him out there. But we feel like we got some really good guys, and we play a lot of receivers, 8 to 10 in a game at times, and so we got to have guys that can help us.
For fans wondering how much different the offense will look with a change of OCs from last year to this year, what can you tell them?
one of the things I wanted to do was make sure that we didn't miss a beat offensively. I thought the last half of the season we really came on offensively, and so I purposely made it to where we lost Coach Stutzman, but I wanted that same offense. So, we elevate Billy Ray Stutzman to the QBs, and he's been in this offense for a really long time, and Pete Tuitupo and John Hughes as the co-coordinators, keeping this offense consistent for our kids, not changing it, has helped us take a next step to even get better. So that was all done on purpose. Brought in Colney Castle, who's played quarterback in this offense, and has a really good perspective on that to be able to help with the pass game. And so, I feel like we're right where we need to be with the spread and shred.
Coach Peterson here. We're talking fall football camp. Won't be long. September 2nd. Season opens up on the road up in Bozeman against Montana State. We'll get to that and the schedule in general in a minute. But let's talk defense for just a minute. I mean, obviously there's no surprise that Will Leota and Cyrus Webster, you're kind of two vocal leaders and leaders by example out there on the football field. But who are some other names that are going to pop for maybe fans don't know much about? They're going to be an integral part of this defense for the upcoming season.
Yeah, we got Max Christensen and Leighton Tanavasa. Those are our two plugs up front with Marley as well. Marley's had Crimson Cliffs alumni there, but he's been a big plug for us. Got a ton of energy. He has a really good summer too. All those guys interior. They did this kind of the same thing defensive line wise that the receivers did with Ricky. They just got together and did some really good things. Sam, I can't pronounce Sam's last name. Kana Tanganga, something like that. Kana Gatata. He's awesome. He'll forgive me for that poor pronunciation, but he's been strong for us as well, and he's just as good as Cyrus. We got Moon Ashby, transfer from Washington State, defensive end. Brandy Okeke, another transfer from Washington State. Both those guys are going to add a dynamic that we haven't had on our team for a long time on the outside. So they're going to look different up front, but we feel like, again, same thing as the offensive line. We got some good depth at defensive line, and we expect to play a lot of dudes.
Secondary looks strong?
Yeah. I think so. You got Perkins locking it down on the one corner spot. We brought in Scooter Jackson from California, another true freshman. You're going to see him. He's going to play, but we mostly Amari Duncan as well playing at the nickel spot, moving some guys around. We're a little dinged up right now. Hopefully, you get these guys back, but our secondary is solid. They got to play man coverage and get after it, and I feel like we've had a pretty good camp doing that.
Take me through the first scrimmage, what you liked, maybe what you didn't like, and what you'll do different or hope to see differently in this next scrimmage coming up this weekend.
Again, it's the consistency on both sides of the ball. We want to make sure that we're not giving anything away. We want to make each side earn it, so no dumb penalties and make sure we're executing, the drop balls and the pass interferences. Those types of things will kill you. So we want to make sure that we're tightening those things up. But I love the effort. I love the energy. Again, it was up and down on both sides of the ball, going good and against each other. So that's what you want to see. Put them in a bunch of different situations to be able to prepare for all of them that they'll see in the game. And I think they responded well. So this Friday we'll have another scrimmage like that, and it'll be great.
What are your thoughts about the new UAC, United Athletic Conference? Do you like it? You're going to be playing some teams you've never faced off before. You're going to be road warriors this year with 7 road games as well.
Yeah, they did a really good job of understanding what the needs were for both our conferences, the WAC and the ASUN, and making that combination made a lot of sense. And they put a guy in charge, Oliver Luck, who's got a ton of experience and has done a really good job of leading the way for us. It's exciting to play some teams in the Midwest and back east a little bit, and we an extra half hour on the plane ride. And the way we travel now is not a big deal. So I'm excited for these teams, excited for our conference. We got some really good. I think there was 4 teams that are preseason ranked in the top 25, which is really good. So that we're representing well. So a really competitive league that we're excited to be a part of.
And looking at, the way college football is going, what's your thoughts as you saw the Pac-12 seemingly crumble in a matter of hours? And I'm kind of worried the domino effect, we haven't even seen the end of it in college football, especially out in the west part of the country.
Yeah, it just happened a few years ago with scooping up some teams. I was part of one when I was a player. We were the Big East, and I was in the last year, and then we jumped into ACC. And so it's kind of, I think teams and universities are protecting their own and want to make sure that they get a piece of that money and piece of that pie, that drives it. Again, I don't think it's a big deal for football, but I do feel bad for some of these other sports, that don't get to travel the same as football and have to go across the country, and they got school the next day. Those types of things are going to be a challenge, I think. But I think it's overall good for the sport, and I think it's going to keep morphing. We'll see what they do with the Mountain West and the pack now, and maybe there'll be some more teams from the FCS level jump into the FBS and that are ready to do that. So we'll just see. Just hang on. It's not over.
Hang on to the schedule. I mean, anybody, anywhere. That's kind of, I've heard you say that multiple times over the last couple seasons, but again, another really challenging schedule. Just give me more on that schedule and your thoughts. I know if you guys can get a couple wins early, that's going to help once you get past the month of September.
Yeah, no, for sure. 7 away games. It's like, I mean, what do you do? You go, hey, complain about it? Like, let's go. We'll travel. We'll go play whoever, wherever, and I think you got to have that attitude. When we first got made Division I, we didn't have a conference, and so we wanted to prepare for the future and make sure that we were set up for next year for our playoff run, and that was kind of the purpose. And so we knew we were going to have some challenging seasons leading up to that, and playing some really good teams. And that a few years ago we played 9 ranked teams, 7 playoff teams, and it was really good for my team to see like that's where we want to get to. So we're not scared of any of these teams, and I think we've taken another step, and so I think we're going to fit right in with these teams. We're more prepared than we have been ever, and I'm excited about them. Not going to complain. We'll rock and roll.
Paul Peterson hanging out with me. Coach, awesome to chat with you. I know you guys are working hard, and first game will be here before you know it, and keep up the good work, my friend.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be fun, man. That energy in the air and getting the community together. And I've been to my son's high school game, and get everybody out to these games will be it's exciting. Football's the best sport ever.
Did we get a little breakdown on how Little O looks so far after one game?
Little O, they're looking for him, man. He had a really good scrimmage, and he had 4 catches the other night. They were trying to target him, but missed him a couple times. They'll find him. He's a stud.
Who do you got to recruit, him or his mom?
Both. Yeah. I don't know how I married her. I tricked her for sure. I'm still working on that every day. That's a recruiting process. I'll tell you how it goes.
Coach, always fun to chat with you, man. We'll talk again soon.
Let's go Trailblazers. Thank you.
Got some projects?